this is not your first time to Switzerland.
Not at all.
You've come quite a bit.
Yes. In my career as a portfolio manager for just over 20 years, some of my top clients were based in Zurich, probably no surprise. So I've been here like 3 times a year for the last 10 years. And I always stay in Kusenacht, I've got to say. It's
lovely.
Gorgeous. And went for a run up the Waldestrasse this morning, so beautiful.
Well, it sounds like you can combine a little bit of your hobbies, running, for example, with work. That's always nice.
Yes,
a good combo. Well, it also sounds like you might be up for the red passport. We'll see. After so many years of visiting. Now you've worked with women and spoken to women from all over the world.
Yes.
How do Swiss women figure into your research?
Well, that's a good question. It's funny because wherever I go around the world, wherever I am, people ask me the same thing. I do a lot of speaking, especially to younger women through various CFA societies around the world. And I would say, even though, of course, I've interviewed Swiss women, I'm always interviewing very accomplished women because I want to share positive messages.
What does that mean, to be an accomplished
woman? It
means
somebody who is financially confident, who either is an entrepreneur, who has built her own company, perhaps a CEO of a firm.
With a certain net worth?
No, it's nothing to do with the net worth, although often a highly educated woman will end up with a higher net worth. That's not what I go looking for because I want to interview diversity so that many different people could relate to the quotes that are in my white papers. But what happens, whether I'm interviewing someone in Switzerland or in Singapore, I find that the common theme everywhere with these very accomplished women is one of financial independence, that for some reason they grew up feeling like, I have to become financially independent. I want to make my own money and I want to make my own decisions.
And it's interesting because from what I understand in this year's edition of your white papers, which you've been doing for how many years?
8 years.
For 8 years.
This is my 9th year of interviews now.
Oh my gosh. Well, this year in particular, you did point this out as the dominant theme, correct? That women want to be financially independent?
Absolutely.
Is this a new thing? I mean,
it sounds like it shouldn't have been. Yeah. However, it's what everybody's talking about even more and more than they ever did. While it was always a common message, it's much more defined in 2018.
Why?
I don't know. And this year I studied smart women and risk-taking, and women are really wanting to get a lot more vocal about this idea of taking risk. And I think many women are kind of peeved that they've been perceived, that's been negative, that they've been told they don't take risk. Right. You're getting a little bit of a movement, as you know, with women in general. And women in investing, we don't want to be told that we don't take risk because it's just not true. So I've coined this phrase, women are risk aware, not risk averse.
Okay, so what is the difference between being risk aware and risk adverse?
It's not much, but you know, the difference to me is why do we keep, again, perpetuating negative myths? And so why don't we change it into positive? A language difference can make a huge difference. So whether it's Madeleine Albright and, you know, talking about her housewife approach to risk-taking or whatever, that's so negative and demeaning. Why don't we say women are highly risk-aware and what a wonderful skill that we need, and we need way more women to join politics and financial world.
But what do the numbers say? I mean, are they saying
You're
that women
like a man now.
are in fact maybe that comes from sitting in this chair.
Absolutely.
But do the numbers say that women are in fact risk adverse or not?
So I'll give you, I don't do quantitative number taking. However, there are studies that, I knew if there was a million
studies. Why do I sound like a man? Why does that make me sound like a man?
Because they always say, what about the numbers? Like this other stuff doesn't matter, but this other stuff matters a lot more. So let me explain. There's many, many studies that have been done on risk taking. And there are many different angles to how the surveys are done and what the answer needs to be for a variety of purposes. However, I've done qualitative research, which is 1 hour in-depth meetings with highly accomplished women. And I would say that I've done over 600 of these, and that to me is getting to be statistically significant, so a little bit of a number. And what these women tell me is that they take more time to make decisions. They plan quite a bit more than you might expect. However, they do take very calculated risks, and that's how they become successful. So there's no difference between, I do not see it as a gender thing.
Just maybe that women are mulling over it just a little bit more.
In a
just more
smart
thoughtful
way.
About it.
Yes, in a smart way. And this is why I always tell people in the investment industry, if you get a woman as a client, as a customer, she will be the most loyal customer you have, because she's going to take a lot of time making the decision to work with you. And I'm spending a lot of time now educating financial advisors, male and female, on this, because women communicate and behave a little bit differently.
Yes,
right?
I mean,
so
yes,
why
right?
not
Women
go
are from,
with
what
it?
is it? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
truth in that. We communicate very differently. This is
but it's positive.
Yes, not in a negative way, of course. Just different, right?
Right.
It's just different.
But to me, the onus is on the financial industry to get that and to spend more time communicating in a language that this woman will understand.
So what's missing?
What's missing is the empathy and the idea of spending time figuring out, what are you actually interested in? What motivates you as a person? Tell me about your values. What are you looking for? What matters to you? What are your long-term objectives? But why?
These are conversations that are missing.
Well,
in the
to a certain
community.
extent, there's good advisors and there's not so good advisors, male and female. And so whether you've got a male or female advisor, have these much broader discussions before just saying, let's tick a box and you've got moderate risk tolerance or something like that.
Yes, it's a bit of a generalization. I also came across a report by the Canada-US Council for Advancement of Women Entrepreneurs and Business Leaders, and they were saying some similar points to you, but that the capital is available, for example, for women looking to invest. The capital is available, but women don't have access.
Well, that's changing so rapidly. So yes, but we're moving the dial really, really quickly. And the best thing that's ever happened for women is social media. And you know, we started with social media. It led to crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, and then led to the democratization of capital. So when we get more access to capital, which is happening today, women will use that capital and they're going to use it to create and to connect and to transform, and that's what we're seeing. So social media, and especially with investing and millennial investors, it's dramatically changing the world.
I was wondering that. I mean, is there also generational difference between, I don't know, Generation Xers like myself and the millennials?
You would think, but the beautiful thing with women and social media is all ages are into it now. So I know, my mom, your mom, well, what's wrong with social media? They love it. So it's the same thing with women in investing. It's changing very quickly. And because women want to share these positive stories, why did you make that investment? What happened? Tell me about it. They'll talk more. There's Facebook communities. Yeah, sure. Nordics in particular, huge.
Are huge with the Facebook.
Huge.
With the
One of theirs, Economista, has more than 87,000 followers. These are real women talking about stocks in a way that matters to them.
And have you seen any shifts in financial education? Because we've talked a lot about that here on the program a couple of times, especially about educating young people and as far as children about finance. Have you seen a shift?
Radical shift, I would say. And this, again, is thanks to social media, because I look around the world and there are so many social trading platforms. There's a natural demand for investor education. Some of the rules are changing, which is key. So it used to be banks would offer financial education and then try to sell a product at the end of the course. That's not on anymore. Compliance is shutting that down. I was in Israel recently, and a CEO of one of the banks told me that they're no longer allowed to offer investor education because it's perceived as a conflict of interest for a bank. Is that going global? Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. So all of these trading platforms that are quite independent are remarkable for the amount of investor education that they're offering, and they're very attractive to any woman of any generation.
And what other trends have you seen on your roadshow?
Oh my goodness, so many. I would encourage anybody to go on my site, which is barbarastewart.ca. And if you want to get started investing, if you're maybe not quite there yet and you're looking for inspiration, there are quotes in my white papers from all of these amazing women around the world who have shared how they personally got started investing, what they would advise. So, rather than reading a boring old investment textbook, Thank you, CFA. I'm here talking for them. But go and hear real stories from real women.
Now you sound like a woman.
Yeah, and I like it. Yeah.
Great. Barbara Stewart, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your insights.
Thank you.